Good morning, America. How is everybody today? It's a beautiful day today. Starting to be anyways. It's a little cool. I know I'm good looking, it's okay. It's all right. I am damn sexy. Well, okay, I was reading the news today. Of course, I'm boring, so if you want to skip me, go ahead, I understand. I am pretty boring. But I was reading about the whole thing Trump said where if Mueller was to investigate his family's financing or financial matters, it'd be crossing a line. Well, I got a message from Mueller. Dig deep, my friend. Dig really deep. I mean, get up to your eyeballs in their financial history, because I think that's where a lot of the information that America really needs to get rid of Trump is going to be found. I mean, it seems like he's been doing a whole lot of insider stuff since becoming president. That whole deal with China about selling beef to China. Well, doesn't Donald Trump own stock in beef? I mean, he does have his own steak company. I would assume he might have some fingers and some cow pies, if you know what I mean. It's a bunch of cow shit is what it is. But it just seems like since he's become president, he's done a lot to secure his financial status. You know, that whole thing where he went, I'm not going to get into detail, but I wonder how many companies that he's talked good about are in his stock portfolio. I mean, I wonder how much stock he has in a lot of, like Boeing. When he did that whole thing when he first became president and went to the Boeing factory and applauded them and, for building the biggest, passenger jet and blah, blah, blah. I bet you $20 he has stock in Boeing. I bet just about every company that he's done any business with, he's been trying to help grow. I mean, look at this. There was a meeting at the White House with, I think it was the board of cybersecurity, or it had something to do with that. And wasn't it Kushner who had brought in, I can't remember what it was. It was some group that's supposed to help with the government getting their information out there. I can't remember what it was. It was something gov. My memory is not the greatest. But and come to find out, he owns stock in this company. But he managed to get this guy whose company is only worth just a few $1 million compared to the billion, some of the companies there that were worth billions. And he managed to get this guy there to speak. And his business is worth nothing compared to all these other companies. I mean, they could buy them out, 1,000 times over. But it was just the fact that he managed to get this guy at this meeting, and he owns stock in the company. Insider trading doesn't just occur on Wall Street. It can happen in the White House. And you can help to make the stock market just blow up by just talking about a business or promoting a business or any of that stuff. And, his financial records. I hope if Mueller's doing his investigation and he plans on digging into Trump's financial history, I hope Mueller digs really deep. I really do. I hope he gets up to his eyeballs into Trump's businesses and we really need to know what kind of a man Trump is. And all this talk about money laundering and all this other stuff, I believe it's all true. I mean, it only makes sense. I mean, if you're out there and you buy a house for $180,000 and turn around and sell it for $700,000, and its value never encroached more than just a couple $100,000. There's something fishy there. But I don't know. I like to live. I like to think I live in a country where this kind of stuff can't happen. But going by what I've seen from Donald Trump and his family, I wouldn't trust either one of them to babysit a dead goldfish. Sorry. I hate to sound like a dick. They all seem so wrapped up in criminal mischief It's not even funny. And they're the type of rich people that you can obviously see that they don't give a shit about nobody but themselves. You can smell it. I'm sorry. Some of the things Donald Trump said, like when people asked him why he doesn't use poor people in his administration, and he said, well, I'd rather have a wealthy man in these positions I've appointed these people to than a poor man. Now, I understand you could divide certain types of people by wealth and education. And you can divide these people by their education and wealth, is what I'm trying to say. But it doesn't actually mean that because you're wealthy, you're intelligent. And that's also to say that because you're poor, you're dumb. I'm sure there are a lot of, well, fuck, here I am right here. Granted, I probably don't have the greatest intelligence, but I am pretty damn smart. I don't know if I could handle any of those positions. Granted, I didn't go to any kind of college or anything, but I'm not dumb. And I think I can grasp a pretty good bit of the job's requirements. But I'm not looking for a job working for Donald Trump. I'll recuse myself before I put myself in that situation. Not that I ever would have an opportunity to do that. I'm not dumb. I'm not crazy. I always kind of talk outside the shoebox because it's fun that way. But I'm very well aware of the fact that I do not meet any requirements to be in any of them positions. But here we are, America. We're really at a precipice of time right now. We're at a point where it's all coming to a head. It's like a giant pimple on the back of America. And it's coming to a head, and pretty soon, I really do hope that it's going to get lanced. And, talking about draining the swamp, well, I think we need to drain the White House first, and then we can talk about draining the swamp. Because right now, I think the White House has more fucking vermin in it than the damn swamp. But, it's been very enlightening. I don't know if many Americans will agree with me, but it's been very enlightening to see how everything's playing out, things that are being said, seeing the biased media, seeing the different sides of the equation, and you really just need to kind of take just a minute and step back and just really soak it all in. We're witnessing some of the most tyrannical bullshit that's ever happened in America, ever. And we're witnessing some of the greatest revelations in our political quagmire. We're seeing light being shined on certain aspects of our political world that we've never seen before. And on top of that, we're actually coming to the point where we're realizing that there's a lot more going on than what we've imagined. I've always kind of figured our country's corrupt. I'm sorry. I've always kind of said that, and I firmly believe in it. Our government is corrupt. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't think that people in positions of power use that power for the betterment of the people. I think they use their power for the betterment of themselves and others. And it's a lot of back scratching and back pocket politics. But we're starting to see that. The layers of the onion are being peeled, and we're getting an in-depth look into how certain parts of our politics and our political elites run the show. And it's amazing. It really is. And the information, a lot of that information's always been out there. But no one really talks about it, because when you do talk about it, people call you a conspiracy theorist, and I don't want to be put up there with I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I really don't. But that information's always been out there. It's just been a matter of getting it focused. I mean, take it this way. Speaker Ryan, for instance, when he leaves office, he's supposed to get $270,000 a year for the rest of his life. What the fuck for? What has he done other than servicing the people that requires him to earn $270,000 a year for the rest of his life? Can anybody explain that to me? why he deserves 6 figures a year after he leaves office? Shouldn't he get a job like the fucking rest of us, or start a business maybe? No, I don't think he should start a business, because he's just gonna lobby the fucking people that he's known, and you know how it works, right? Scratch your back, you scratch mine. We need to abolish that shit. There should be no reason for a congressman or a senator or a fucking speaker of the house to receive any money after they leave office. There should be no severance pay for the rest of your life. You leave office, you're done. Go get a fucking job. Sorry. I don't get that. I don't understand. And you know what? They're the ones that they wrote these laws. These are the people that actually give themselves raises. These are the people that decide that they earn what they earn after they leave office. They write their own fucking laws, and the people have no say whatsoever. It's kind of like the Patriot Act. No American asked George Bush to create the Patriot Act. Somehow he pulled it out of his ass right after 9/11. You know, the Patriot Act really fucks with our Fourth Amendment pretty bad, and it's just a tip of the iceberg, and it's a shame. There are no solutions really to the problem, except for the people. Really, the people just need to stand up, and they need to take control back from our government, because it's just, we don't have any control. We think we do. We think we have control because we can cast a vote, but that's not control. That's rolling your dice, and that's not what America's about. And who the fuck gave Congress the right to even give themselves raises? I mean, how does that work? Americans can't do that, and we're out struggling every day. People that own businesses are struggling every day. Fucking laborers are struggling every day. People go out and bust their ass just to send it on down the line, folks. I mean, that's what we do here in America. We work so we can support our families. People start businesses for the same reason, and they might make more money than, you know, the average Joe busting his ass as a laborer, but they're still going through the same bullshit the rest of us are. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you're making in America. If you're working and you're trying to pay your bills and you're taking care of shit, you're still sitting back and getting screwed, no matter what you do. I mean, minimum wage needs to go up. And you get all these businesses, oh, we can't afford to pay minimum. You decide to go minimum wage at $10 an hour. That's insane. It's really not. Because these are the same people that believe in trickle-down economics. You know, they think if you give the best tax cuts to the rich and wealthy, well, that'll trickle down into the economy. Well, it doesn't trickle down into the economy, you know, like they try to say it does. But, you know, these are the same people that believe in trickle-down economics, but they don't want to see the poor get raises. If it makes any sense. Which it doesn't. It never has. Well, this is Jeff in the Jeep. God bless America. Y'all take care. I just hope that we're smart enough as a people to see this through. God bless America. Hooah.